Hi everyone, it's been a hot second since I've done a sit-down video, and I also took an extra week off. I've just been so busy testing and doing work. I've just been super busy after I've been working the last couple weeks, but I'm here and I am going to tell you 10 reasons why you should be a school psychologist. Alright, so I decided that I think I'm going to do like 10 reasons why you should do it and then 10 reasons why you might not want to. So this is the 10 reasons as to why you will want to be a school psychologist. And these are not in any particular order, but number one I have on this list is you can make your work day what you want it to be. So do you want to do just a test day? Do you want to do a day where you meet with students? A mix of both. Do you want, like, what do you want to do? You know, do you want to write reports? And I actually have been doing this the past 2 weeks. Like, there's a lot of kids I need to test, and there was a lot of kids that I need to write the reports for. And sometimes I'd mix those together. Sometimes I would just do a day of one and just a day of the other. And then I would have to see kids. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll fit them in on this day and I'll fit this kid in on the other day. Number two, you never know how the day will go. So you're not just sitting in a chair every day in a cubicle doing the exact same thing. You might go in there thinking that you're going to test, which if you saw my other videos, you know I do this all the time. I go in thinking I'm going to do one thing, and then I come back telling you different stuff happened throughout the whole day. And I love that. I mean, some people might think that's a con, but I love that. I won't ever have the same day, and it's kind of spontaneous, so I really enjoy that. Number three, good money. So I always hear like people don't want to work in the schools because they think that they're not going to make a lot, and that is true for most people working in the school. But for school psychs, you tend to make really good money, especially depending where you are at and how many certifications you have and all of that stuff. So that could up your raise like 3,000. That's what it did for me. Just the master's plus, just the master's actually, I would have started at 1, and since I had the master's plus 30, that added an extra like $3,000 onto my pay. Number four, you pretty much get breaks when the kids get breaks. So you have 2 months, usually at least, a summer vacation. Again, this is really dependent on if you're doing year-round schooling or just the schooling schedule, but you get the breaks that they have for the holidays. So for Christmas and Thanksgiving, if they get off like Memorial Day, Labor Day, all of that stuff, you have off too. And it's really nice because, you know, if you're working another job, people try to take those days off. You don't have to try. You already have off on those days. Number five, you have the ability to live anywhere, and the job will be available for you because there's schools everywhere, so they need school psychologists. So you can go to like any state, and also just the job market for school psychologists are really good because there's a shortage of school psychs. So it's easier to get a job than if it was a more competitive job that you were trying to go for. Number six, if you want to change children's lives. So there are some kids that I see and I'm their trusted adult and they want to tell me what's bothering them, or they just come to me to make their day, you know? Like, I'm not saying that it's a lot because teachers may get that more since they see their student all the time, but there are some kids that will come to you and want to be with you and around you, and you will make their day. Number seven, this one's a little interesting. If you love solving puzzles, and I don't mean literally puzzles, but kind of like logic puzzles, because for example, when you're testing a student, sometimes you just have to put those pieces together and make it work. You have to make those scores make sense, and you have to take all this data and put it together and be like, what does this mean? what can I do to help the kid? Is this kid a slow learner? Are they having difficulties with attention? Are they having difficulties just because they are absent? You know, you got to put the pieces together, and I personally really enjoy that. I like looking at all the scores. Like the testing, I don't mind because I just like seeing the results and kind of, you know, putting things together. So if you like that, that's definitely a plus. Number 8, if you want to be multi-skilled, because a lot of people do think that we just do assessments, but no. Yes, we can do assessments, but we can counsel students. We can collaborate with the school. We can present data and research-based intervention. There is just a lot that we could do because there's much more that we could do than what I even just listed. We can do a lot. You will have multiple skills in this field. Number 9, if you want to be in a school setting but not necessarily be around children all the time. So if you're a teacher, you're gonna be in the classroom all the time with the same set of students for that year, right? For the most part, people come and go and students change and all that stuff. But for the most part, with those students all the time. As a school psych, like you will see them maybe a little bit. Like for example, when I test a kid, and if I don't know them and I think that they don't need any extra services after they're done with me, I might meet with them a whole lot for those 2 weeks of testing or those 3 weeks or however long it takes, and then not see them again. So if you're like, I want to be around children, but maybe not all the time. Even with counseling, you know, you briefly grab them and see them, but you're not with them all the time. So if you do want to work in a school setting, but maybe not be around them 24/7, that's plus being a school psychologist. And the last one, number 10, last but for sure not the least, is that if you want to be entertained and learn from these students, because literally the stuff they say sometimes makes me laugh. And then there's stuff that they say sometimes that I never even knew. Like I had one student that was telling me about the new symbol they use to represent autism, the infinity sign, and I still thought they were using like the puzzle pieces, and then she told me why, and I didn't know that. And then she told me, and then I knew. So, you know, like you can learn about things that you may not even thought about. It's really neat. And also they could teach you just how different life can be, like different life perspectives, because they're all coming from different backgrounds, and that could be good or bad, but it just makes you realize like the things that happen in the world, in the community around you that you're working in, and maybe even live in if you live around the schools. So that is something that I see though as a plus in being a school psychologist. It kind of grounds me and makes me realize what's going on around me, and also I just appreciate like the kids and the stuff that they do, because I'm serious, it is really entertaining sometimes. Kids are smart. Anyway guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have other pros as to why you want to be a school psychologist, or as to why you chose to be a school psychologist, definitely leave that down below. I'd love to hear it. I'm so happy that you watched. I really hope that you enjoy. I will see you the next time. Bye guys.